What's up, everybody? I'm here with Plato today. Welcome to the show. We're going to be talking about Disney's Star Wars controversy. Disney Marvel controversy. Disney's Snow White controversy. Because millions and millions of people have seen Rachel Zegler's controversial comments on the internet. And by controversial, I mean she's basically just slamming the original Snow White movie. These were a year old, but they resurfaced, and now people are sick of Rachel Zegler. And she has doubled down and chewed out men. She's yelled at men on the internet. She's really upset at men for some reason. And she's really excited that the new Snow White movie is going to be about Snow White being a leader, putting the prince on the back burner, and a complete lack of dwarves. But that's not the only issue. Now Disney has to deal with a new problem: the potential financial fallout from all of this drama and from all of the woke injection the last few years. But this is an article from Dexerto. Rachel Zegler's Snow White must make a huge amount to break even. I don't know if you guys have seen how much money they have spent on this movie and how much it's going to take for this to make a profit when it hits theaters, but it is pretty crazy. Check this out. Amid the ongoing controversy with lead star Rachel Zegler, it's been revealed that Snow White will need to make a huge amount of money at the box office if it's going to break even. Disney's Snow White live-action remake hit the headlines last month for all the wrong reasons after a 2022 interview of Rachel Zegler, who is taking on the titular role, did the rounds online. In the clip, she slams the original animated version as weird, describes Prince Charming as a stalker, and jokes that his scenes will be cut from the movie. This is a little bit out of context, though, as Rachel Zegler said weird when describing the prince being in love with the princess, which I guess is strange to her. This current generation of Disney fans find true love to be abysmal, abominable, and she is just the spearhead of this movement, apparently. And not only that, but the writer and director are taking this movie in a crazy direction. As I just described, they're changing everything about this movie, down to its core, basically. The core values of the movie and the characters have been completely reworked to fit the modern era. And by modern, I mean woke nonsense. She also describes changing the focus of the plot from true love to female empowerment. The internet has been up in arms ever since, with other resurfaced videos of Zegler doing the rounds online, old drama being dragged up, and talks of boycotting the star's next movie too. This person said, "I see Disney is doubling down on the audience legacy baiting strategy. Rachel Zegler is raising the bar in terms of unlikable, makes Brie Larson look just detached and uninterested. Now everyone is talking about the Snow White movie, but will this put people in cinemas?" And I think that's a great point. I haven't really thought negatively about Brie Larson to such a degree as I have with Rachel Zegler, nor do I think that Brie Larson has gotten this much heat. I think that's due to the fact that Captain Marvel is not as popular as Snow White. As woke as Captain Marvel as a character is, I don't think that it's as bad as this. This is pretty bad. I mean, they're basically just making a completely different movie and just slapping Snow White onto it. There aren't even any dwarves in this movie. I mean, that's how bad it is. But what about Snow White? Despite the vitriolic reaction, the movie hasn't been canceled, but there are talks of Disney fans boycotting the live-action remake, which doesn't bode well with the current box office estimates. I do know that the WGA strikes have, I guess, concluded. They reached a deal. It was fun while it lasted. I wanted to talk a little bit about that later. But Rachel Zegler's Snow White needs big box office to break even. A new report showing Snow White's spending so far estimates that the Disney movie will need to earn approximately $336.4 million to break even, but it may even be more than that because you've got a year of post-production, you've got marketing. Some people think it's upward of $100 million or more. I mean, this movie has to make almost $500 million probably to break even, or to make a profit, maybe. I mean, given Disney's track records of box office failures, it doesn't look like this movie is going to do very well. This is according to a new report by Forbes, which explains that while budgets are normally kept private when it comes to major studio films, much of Snow White was shot in the UK, where productions can make use of government's film tax relief scheme. They did get about $41 million, I read. $41 million in reimbursement. It brought the net spending down to $168.2 million. But it says also that costs are likely to rise sharply when factoring in more than a year of post-production. Yeah, that can probably take your costs up. Now, I'm not an expert on movie costs. I do know that marketing is expensive, and that does affect the box office returns. And it says down here, given The Little Mermaid remake barely broke even, and the controversy surrounding Snow White's Zegler, some are predicting disaster for the upcoming Disney film. But There are still plenty of supporters who can't wait to get their tickets when the film hits theaters. Only time will tell if Snow White turns into a success or a flop. It's going to be a flop. Millions of people saw Rachel Zegler's comments. I mean, she's just hating on people, hating on men, blame shifting, accusing everyone else of being the perpetrators while she is the victim, saying that her life is hard even though she makes millions. Yeah, it is definitely going to be a flop, especially since The Little Mermaid was almost a flop. I'm pretty sure this one's going to be a flop as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance to hit that like button or share it with your friends, that would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider becoming a subscriber so that you're up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Later. Meow, meow.